is Uber One worth it in 2025? I hate YouTubers that ramble on, so I'm going to get right into this and give you a short answer and then get into the nitty gritty and give you a long answer. Short answer. I'm going to say this. If you spend over $165 or more on Ubers every month, it might be worth it. And in addition to that, if let's say you use Uber Eats a lot, it also might be worth it. Then again, there's some fine print and there's some terms about Uber One that I'm not going to lie, I am not the biggest fan of. First off, getting into it, as you see right here, to kick it off, it is $10 a month. So I will say it's not insanely expensive, which is good. It's not ultra expensive. And here's what you get. First off, $0 delivery fee on eligible food, groceries, and more. That's a pretty good one. If you do use Uber Eats a lot, keep in mind though, and I'll talk about this here and there throughout this video, it does kind of soft lock you into using Uber Eats in the sense that, you're like, all right, well, I can't use DoorDash. I have to use Uber Eats. But if you use Uber Eats a lot and use it consistently, that might save you a lot. I mean, I've seen delivery fees be as high as $3 or $4. And if it does qualify, which I'll talk about in a second, if it does qualify, even 2 or 3 orders or 4 orders on Uber Eats could be saving you money when it comes to that $10 membership fee. In addition, up to $10 off eligible deliveries and pickup orders. You can save money on your favorite restaurants and stores. So let's say there are some stores that I've seen where when it comes to Uber Eats, not only do you get $0 delivery fee, but you get a special discount on some of the food. Keep in mind though, I found for me when I did use Uber One, I felt more pressured and I was like, well, it's free delivery. I might as well order on Uber. And I noticed that I was spending more money. Keep that in mind. More of a psychology thing, if anything. But I found I was spending more money on Uber Eats and I was using Uber Eats more because of this. And that's probably why they have it. That at first, you might be saving money. But if you start to use it too irresponsibly, if I'd say it like that, maybe not. Here's a big one for me that I hate. Sorry, Uber, just being honest. Earn 6% Uber One credits on eligible rides. Here's the way it works. Is back in the day when it comes to Uber One, what would happen is when you would order an Uber, you get an immediate discount. So the Uber would be discounted. It'd be cheaper through Uber One. Now, after you take the ride, you get Uber credit. All that means is you get Uber credit that you can use towards Uber Eats or taking Ubers, and you get 6%. This is why I said, if you're spending, doing the quick math, about $167 a month or more on Ubers, it does save you money, maybe. Couple different reasons why. So I'm going to go down here, as you can see here. First off, just in some of the fine print, that there are benefits available only to eligible stores marked with Uber One icon. Keep in mind, some stores, some businesses, some restaurants don't use Uber One, and you still have to pay a delivery fee or whatever. You can see $15 minimum to receive $0 delivery fee. I feel like that makes sense to me. $15 minimum, I feel like is probably what you'd spend anyway. $15 or more when it comes to delivery, and up to 10% off. When it comes to, let's say, groceries, $35 minimum order to receive $0 delivery fee, and you get 5% off. In addition, Uber One discount is not available to certain ride types booked 30 minutes or more in advance. So it's pretty much you order the Uber right then and there. That's how you get the 6% Uber credit. Here's what's very frustrating, though, about this. I'm not going to lie, that I personally don't like. And this is why I said it might be worth it for you. Because, again, doing the math out, if you're spending $167 a month or more on Ubers, it does save you money. Because past that point, you're getting $10 or more in credit back. But here's the thing. First off, as I said, you get 6% Uber One credits on eligible rides taken. It can take up to 24 hours. Okay, no big deal. Here's the big deal is this. Uber One credits are earned on the subtotal of your final fare on eligible trips and excludes tolls, tips, taxes, and fees. You cannot earn additional Uber One credits on the portion of the final fare where prior Uber One credits were used. That to me is really annoying, that I can't use Uber credits and gain Uber credits from that. I just hate the fact that basically you don't get a discount right away, you get credit back, and I guess in some ways I kind of get why they do this, but it's just annoying. It's just frustrating. In addition, Uber One credits will also expire if your membership concludes. This to me is so frustrating. And here's the main reason why. Now, first off, if anything, I want to say when it comes to Uber One in 2025, I feel like if you use Uber Eats a lot, I feel like it's more worth it. I'm going to be honest. If you use Uber Eats a lot, I feel like $10 a month, you get $0 delivery fee, pretty good, especially if you order it, like say a few times a week. That makes sense. When it comes to Ubers, it's frustrating that one, I don't get that discount right away. I order the Uber, and then the next day or within 24 hours, as you saw, I get that amount that I spent, ignoring the taxes and fees, etc., and I get 6% of that in my account as Uber One credit, and I can use that for rides and Uber Eats. The frustrating thing, though, is it's kind of this almost odd paradox. Let's say I go to order an Uber again. Well, it's like, okay, if I go to order an Uber again, I can either pay for it and not get that Uber One discount, which is kind of annoying, because I'm not getting a discount now. Remember, I get credit back. Or B, I use my credits. But then if I use my credits, I'm not getting any benefit from using my credits on that ride besides just, I guess, 6% off on the next one, right? So there's almost this lag. And I don't like that. For me, I just kind of find that annoying, and I don't like that lag. Another thing is this. You can cancel your membership at any time. That's pretty good. I like the fact that you can spend money on it. And let's say after a month, you don't like it. There's no contract. There's no hidden fees. It's $10 a month flat. But it is very frustrating. Let's say if you've built up a lot of credit, like you've built up, I'm making this up, $200 worth of Uber One credit, and you're like, you know what? I just don't think it's worth it anymore. But at least I built up this credit, and you cancel, you lose that Uber One credit once your membership is canceled. So it does also kind of pigeonhole you to force to stay with the Uber One membership. Gotta mention that. I gotta be honest, it's tough for me to say, because if you're using Uber a lot, and it does make sense that maybe like say 1 month you're using Uber One a lot, and like so you rack up all these credits, you get all this money, all this Uber One credit, and then the next month, I'm just making this up, you use all that Uber One credit on rides and everything. Okay, I can kind of see that might like save you some money, but you still have to spend that $10 every month just to continue to use that credit, or else it goes away. Very frustrating. And then one last thing I do want to mention, and this is a bit captain obvious, but I do want to mention it, is Uber versus Lyft. Now, Lyft does have Lyft Pink. It's kind of the competitor of Uber One in terms of like features, all that kind of stuff. In my opinion, to give you a short answer, I think Lyft Pink is better because you actually get a discount right away. I like that a lot more. When it comes to Lyft, though, versus Uber, keep in mind, again, kind of captain obvious, this does, in an odd way, kind of force you to have to use Uber. Like, say you're in your area, Lyft is cheaper, this doesn't make sense. Like, say it's a 50-50 toss-up. Like, say if, it's a coin flip, that one night Uber's cheaper, and then another night Lyft is cheaper. Well, if you think about it, with this, you kind of feel like obligated to have to use Uber. And looking at a big picture mathematical perspective, you might actually spend more money because of Uber One, because you're like, wait, Lyft is cheaper tonight. Lyft is cheaper. But I have the Uber One membership. You know what? I'll just order the Uber anyway. Yeah, it's $5 extra, but no big deal. I have Uber One. And then you realize, like, wait a minute, if you do that twice, you're kind of breaking even on this Uber One membership, right? So keep that in mind. Again, I know very obvious, but because this is only through Uber, it is kind of frustrating that, like, say, I'm now locked into really only using Uber. Again, like I said in the beginning, I think if you do use Uber and you are spending, using math to break even, $167 a month or more on Ubers, or you're using Uber Eats, or both, or using both, I think it could be worth it. I honestly think it could be worth it. But with all these little fine print with the terms, with the fact that you don't save money right away, you get Uber One credit after the fact, and the fact that you lose it if you cancel the membership, in some ways, I'm not going to lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Uber One.